In this video, we are gonna unbox our Just Survive Monster Hunter World the board game All-in Pledge, as well as one additional box. So this is the first of our two boxes containing our All-in Pledge for Monster Hunter World the board game, and these boxes are still sealed so that you get our actual reaction when we see the products for the first time. So I'm looking forward to this and is really excited. So let's get this box open and see what we actually have inside of the first box. We have really been looking forward to this game. It is one of our most anticipated games of the year. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what we have down here. If I can get it open. So here we go, let's see. So seems like first off we have that's just a piece of cardboard. And then we have some games here, so let's see. So these are gonna take a lot of space, so I'm just gonna move this box to the floor and then I will pull up the products instead. I think that's a lot easier. There we go. So let's take up the first piece of this box. And as you saw in the introduction, this box is the core pledge, which means that this will probably contain our base games, but let's take a look. So these are some very heavy boxes. So first off, we have the base game for the Ancient Forest. As you can see here, really, really nice. And if I just take it to our overview camera. So this is Monster Hunter World, the board game, Ancient Forest. It is a core set. It takes 60 to 90 minutes to play, age 14 up for 1 to 4 players. And this box is pretty big, you can probably see compared to my hand. You can also see it here on the front camera. It has some really nice box art with some of the different monsters. And if we flip it over, we have the back here. We can see here it says Explore the Ancient Forest. It is a cooperative arena combat board game for 1 to 4 players based on the wildly popular video game. You have to track down monsters in a choice-driven adventure and then face an increasingly tough version of the monster. You can play the full campaign or one-off arena battles. And then we have a nice picture here of all the components and content. But let's get the box open. So what we'll do is we'll just take a quick overlook in this video, just go through the content of the box, and then we're gonna do some in-depth videos of the separate boxes where we go over the cards, the hunters, the mechanics, etc. So now that we're going through it, if you don't know what all the stuff is when I just call it what it is, then you can go check out our how to play video. I will put a link up in the corner and that will explain everything for you guys. But let's get this open. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it off. Oh, that is really tough to get off. Also, these boxes don't seem to be like standard size. They might fit in my Kallax, but don't really know. There we go. So first off, we have a nice cover picture here, which is the same at the front of the box. And then we have a organize your storage tray that shows where everything should go inside of the box. Really nice. So first off, it seems like we have all the parts for the big boss monster, which is a Rathalos here. And then we have all the rest of the monsters. So let's start with, that is gonna be the Rathalos because it is on the top. And these are just, I think you can see it here on the front cam if I just switch over. This is big, this is nice. You can probably also see it on the overview cam. And then of course, when we put the wings on, this is the right wing. Yes. And that one. Oh, you'll probably have to wiggle, but this is giving you some kind of idea of how big this actually is. Looking really, really awesome. So let's put that over here. And take a look at the next one. So it seems like next up we have the Anjanath. Also again, really, really nice. Some fantastic detail levels with all the pelt here that it have and the skin. These are gonna look really, really nice painted. Bit of flesh going on, but it doesn't seem like it has a lot of mold lines. I'm really impressed. These are some of the best sculpts that I have ever seen in a board game. Then we have, it is the Tobi Kadashi, if I remember correctly. Also a nice sculpt with all the scales. This is perfect candidate for speed painting, stuff like that. Again, not a lot of cleanup, even though there's so many details. There's a bit of flash, but also looks really, really nice. And last up, we have the what is this? It's a great something. Can probably see in just a minute. Again, really, really nice sculpt here. And really capturing the monsters in a fantastic way. So underneath this insert, which is of course to protect all the monsters, and this is like half the box. So half the box is your monster miniatures. Then we have all the cardboard I can see, which is actually quite a lot. So we have our elemental alignments up here. We have some of our hunter tokens. We have our clock. We have our break and broken tokens. Our modifiers. And then we have the game board underneath. Let's actually just get that open anyway, just to show you guys. So we already went over this sheet here. Then we have another sheet with the same. And then, of course, the last one we have here is our boss health counter and our terrain pieces for the board. And here we have the board, and it is a fold out with two sides. So we have two different parts of the forest that we can play in here. Pretty decent size. Gonna take off most of a normal board. A normal table, of course. Then we have the rule book. And we can probably just take a look here. So we have some really nice pictures from the actual Monster Hunter World PC game. And here we can see it was a Great Jagras, the one that I couldn't remember. And this is a really nice rulebook as well. Nice, colorful overview, heavy pages, nice texture to it. Then we have the quest book, which is the one you're going to use every time you're going on a quest for a specific monster. So this is going to describe what happens to you and your comrades as you walk through the ancient forest. Then we have the actual hunter boards, which is kind of your dashboard that you're using when you're playing. So you will play your cards down here. And then depending on how many cards you have played, different stuff will happen. And this is like your combo line. Again, go check our how to play video if you want to know more about how this component is used. Then we have our campaign sheets used to write down all the stuff that you find during a campaign. We have our monster boards here. And just like the rulebook, these are all textured really nice. Could be a bit thicker, but still nice. So we have all the monsters, the different versions of the monsters, including the special Azure Rathalos. And then we have all our forge boards here. So here we have, this is for the Ancient Forest Greatsword, the different kind of swords that you can create with materials from the different monsters. We have the armors as well. And we have for the Greatsword, we have for dual blades, bow, sword and shield. And then we have another one for the Greatsword here. So it seems like we have, and here we have for the Greatsword for the Wildspire waist, which is the other core set. So this is so that you can use that reference chart in the other game as well. I even have problems looking down into the box, as you can probably see on camera. But then we have the different hunters. So here we have the dual blades. These are also very high detail. Really nice. They're gonna look good just with a Cynical Prime or something like that. And even better if they get colored. And again, try and check out the size difference here. Just to the smallest monster, right? This is the Great Jagras. This is the Hunter. And compared to the Rathalos, it just looks awesome. Then we have the Bow Hunter. Also, again, with the giant bow, which is what you also want to see, like in all the games, like the weapons are really exaggerated. We have the Great Sword here. No, of course not. This is the dual blades, dual wielding blades, and the other one was the Sword and Shield. And then here we have the Great Sword, with this sword that is like many times bigger than the actual Hunter. Really nice looking miniatures, all of them. Then down here we have some normal standard dice, and then we have the pegs to actually put the health counters together. Then we have all our different cards, and here we have room for them, and I would think they can maybe be here sleeved. Doesn't seem like they can be here sleeved though. So here we have like our weapon cards. This is the Carapace Buster and all the different damage cards that they give and special effects. And we have also for the bow here. Seems like we have more weapon cards, armor cards over here. I'm not gonna open all of these up. Yeah, so all of these are armor cards. All of these are probably our weapon cards. These are our damage deck, our normal damage deck and our elemental damage deck. These are the monster behavior decks for the different monsters. So this is for the Azure Rathalos. And it shows how it moves and how it attacks. And over here we have our time cards, which are used and our Palico cards. So the time cards are used to actually find out how much time you have left for a given session. And the Palico cards are when you are playing fewer players, then you get a Palico to help you out. So that seems like that is all the different cards. And again, if you don't know what they do and what they mean, you can look up either the rules, which are freely available as a PDF from Steamforged Games, or check out our how to play video. But I'm gonna put all of this back in the box, and then I'm gonna take up the next one. So let's take the next box up. Here we go. So this is the other core game, and that is the Wildspire Waste. Let's get it down on the table. So it is the exact same thing here on the front. It has another image here with a Diablos instead, and let's just flip it over. There we go. So as we can see, it is most of the same components, but different monsters, different hunters. So let's just get it open and take a look inside. And because it is the same components with the cardboard and the time card, stuff like that, I'm just gonna go over the monsters and the hunters, and we're gonna ignore the rest because we already saw it in the other core box. But let's take a look inside. So let's see, we got off all the plastic. And this is gonna be as hard to open as the other one. It is gonna be. It's actually even harder. And if you can't see it, there is actually a lot of weight in these boxes. A lot of cards, a lot of cardboard. The monsters actually have quite some weight to them. It's not like hollow plastic. It's full. So there we go. So again, we have the full image here without the text from the front of the box. And then we have our monsters. First off here we have wings again. And this time it's probably for the Diablos, which is also the monster that we have first. So take a look at this big boy here. Really nice. Take a look at the face. And then when he gets the wings on, again these wings are kind of just clicked on. This is looking so goddamn awesome. This is a fantastic piece just having standing here. Then we have the Baroth, which most people probably know for throwing mud if they've played the video games. You can see here on camera. And we have Pukai, the poisonous monster with the long tongue. I really like that they have kept the size ratio for all of these. And then we have, I think this is, it's called something with a J. I can't remember what we're probably gonna see it in just a moment. Again, the sculpt quality is very high. Very, very high. As I said, we have all the same cardboard, as you can see. I'm gonna ignore that. Then we have the rulebook, which is mostly the same rulebook, other images, but have the same layout, the same stuff. So we can see here the hunters, we can see the monsters, and it's called Rathalos, the one that I could remember. And most of the other stuff here is the exact same thing as the other rulebook. Then we have the unique quest book for the Wildspire Waste, and that is for these 5 monsters. And again, that is the 4 basic monsters and a special version of the boss monster, the Diablos. You can see here, really nice picture here of Pukai. Looks really, really awesome. Boards are the same, campaign block is the same, all the cards below are the same, just other armor and other weapons, because this of course is for some other hunters. And then of course it is for cards for the monsters in this set as well. For the hunters in this set, we have, it looks like this is the axe, switch axe probably. Yep. Kind of a strange axe, but still, the armor is really, really cool. And again, yeah, if you just stand here, you can compare it to size, right? Then we have what looks to be the insect glaive. Yeah, this is the insect glaive. You have the insect on the arm and the glaive over here. We have the gun lance, it looks like. Also a really nice sculpt. I will look it up in the rulebook in just a moment. And then this seems to be the light bowgun. I actually don't know if there's both the light and heavy bowgun, but this looks to be the light bowgun at least. But let me just double check the weapons for you here in the entries. So it is the insect glaive, the heavy bowgun, the charge blade, of course not the lance, it's the charge blade, and it's the switch axe. So that is, those 2 core sets are giving us 8 of the weapon choices. These are all the same, and we have again the pegs and the dice. So I'm just gonna put this away, and then we're gonna take a look at the last box in this first big cardboard box. Let's see what is. It is Kulu-Ya-Ku, which seems to be some kind of just a monster expansion, right? So yeah, here we go. Let's take it over. So it is expansion with Kulu-Ya-Ku, an additional monster. It requires a core set, takes 60 to 90 minutes, age 14, 1 to 4 players, just like the rest. And if we flip it over, we can see here that we have new armor cards for the monster, new weapon cards, attack cards, damage cards. We have time cards, additional time cards, physiology cards for the monster, and of course the behavior cards. And then it says here login bonus inside. Track Kulu-Ya-Ku down in choice-driven adventures and every craftable Kulu-Ya-Ku weapon type from the video game plus Kulu-Ya-Ku armor. But let's get it open and take a look. Let's get this open. Let's see. This opens a lot easier than the big boxes, at least. So, Claus here from the post-editing room, and I just want to come up with a disclaimer before I show you the next clip, because that is gonna show me off as a complete idiot. So, this Kulu-Ya-Ku box is actually not an expansion, and the daily login bonus is not something for your game or something else. This pack here, this box here, is actually all the stretch goals from the Kickstarter campaign. When you have so many games going on all the time and so many Kickstarters to keep track of, you sometimes forget stuff. And this time, I actually forgot that there was any stretch goal to this specifically campaign. So I hope you enjoy the clip where I'm first trying to get really excited for some stretch goals that I've got, and following trying to figure out what the heck it is that we got in this box as the bonus content. But I hope you enjoy, and then let's continue with the video. So we have the Kulu-Ya-Ku rulebook here, which have all the information just like we had in the big rulebook, but this just is specific to Kulu-Ya-Ku. And we have all the different progress for all the different weapons. And then we have the quest book on the second half. Then we got a small bag here to store our stuff in. We have our physiology cards. And then, wow, this is cool. I actually didn't know this as well, but take a look at this. We not only have the monster, which we have here, Kulu-Ya-Ku. Again, one of the smaller, but still real annoying monsters. It's holding a rock, because what he does is he actually uses different items as weapons. But we actually also have all the different miniatures with the weapons and armor for Kulu-Ya-Ku. I had not seen this at all before. So it seems like we have, what is this? We have 8 hunters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hunters, and then we have companions. Yes, we have palicos here in Kulu-Ya-Ku armor. So take a look at this little palico guy here. Very, very nice. With both the armor and the weapon. And we have all of these palicos. Yeah, all of these are small palico miniatures. So we have 4 palico miniatures, and then we have a little pig here in Kulu-Ya-Ku armor as well. I can't remember what these are called. And then we have bow, sword and shield, great sword, another bow. It seems like we have 2 different bows. This might be the bow gun actually, and not the bow. We have sword and shield, dual weapon. So no, this actually seems to just be 2 different versions for each of the heroes from the ancient forest. So it seems like we have 2 great sword, 2 sword and shield, 2 bow, and 2 dual weapon. One, is it male and female then? That might be the case. Yeah, so it actually seems like we have a male and a female version. So we have a male bow gun. I'm not sure. I will have to look into it. And these are probably all the weapon and armor cards as well. And here we have the behavior cards. But I must say, I'm very surprised to see all of these small palico miniatures and all of these additional hunter miniatures. I actually thought it was only the monster that you got in this expansion. And that definitely explains why the box is so big. So really, really nice surprise here. I definitely feel that you get a lot more for your money than first expected. So I have just gotten the other box, and where the first set core box, then this says add-on pledge. So let's open this up. I will put it down on the floor. Then we just take a look at what's inside. So I got the box down here again, and we will just pull stuff up. So let's see what we have. So first off, we have a small box here, but it is pretty heavy. So this is the Hunter's Arsenal. And if we put it over here, we can see that it has all the same thing as the Kulu-Ya-Ku expansion. And if we flip it over, it says that all monster hunters have an arsenal of different weapons. So this adds the missing weapons that we didn't get in the 8 weapon types of the core set. So here we have the gun lance, the hammer, the hunting horn, the lance, the light bowgun, and the longsword hunter. But they are compatible with all the core games as well as the Elder Dragon expansions, which is probably somewhere down in the box. So, but let's get this open and see what we have inside. So first off, we have some tokens. I don't know what they're for. Then we have the rule book. Again, nice quality, same as the other rule books. So here we have the 6 hunters that we also saw on the back. It describes the different cards that we have here and how to add this arsenal to your campaign. And then it has additional entries here for all the arena quests, which is these one-off and what equipment you should get now that you have the arsenal as well. So if you're gonna play with one of these weapons, it will say here what loadout you should play with in one-off games. Then we have all the forge cards for the Ancient Forest, and we probably also have the Wildspire Waste here for all the new weapons. We have the different miniatures which we're gonna take a look at, and then of course we have all the armor and weapon cards for all these new hunter types. So here we have a gun lance and the hunting horn here I can see on the icon. But let's take a look at these 6 miniatures. So here we have the light bowgun. That is a really nice miniature, some Rathalos gear, I think. I would think this is the gun lance probably. Or is it the normal lance? No, this is the gun lance. Again, these over-dimensioned weapons. Then we have the longsword. And we have a nice combination of male and female characters here. We have the hammer. That's quite a hammer. I really love these miniatures and the quality and details put into everything. We have the hunting horn, one of the best support weapons in the games. And last but not least, we have the normal lance here, which is probably the bone lance. So yeah, almost double up weapons, 6 additional weapons, and a lot of new armor and weapons to go out and craft in your campaign. So let's see what we can find in the box. These boxes are a different size, I can see. So here we have the Nergigante, which is also a monster expansion. Just gonna put it over on the table here. So it's the same as all the other expansion boxes. Not gonna go too much into that, but we can take a look at the back. So this will contain additional armor and weapon cards and attack cards for the different hunters. It has additional damage cards as well, additional time cards, new tokens for black scale dust, physiology cards and behavior cards. And it says here it's on a 120mm base size. So this should be quite a large monster, but let's take a look. These boxes are not really wanna get opened. Shut tight. See if we can get in the last. Good. So here we have the black scale dust tokens. We have the rule book, which just like the other one, probably also. Oh, it's actually a bit sticky, this one. I haven't seen that before. Probably just the first time you use it. And then we have the quest book here for a different Nergigante specific quest. We have the physiology cards here with the different parts that you can break. We have all the new cards here with armor and weapons. We have the behavior deck. We have new damage card. We have weapon and armor set here, which also contains for the arsenal hunters. I can see it here. We have the hunting horn. And then we have the actual miniature. So if I remember correctly, again, this is one of the elder dragons, which are like special, even harder bosses than the normal boss monsters. There we go. Oh, this one actually came in pretty nice. So here we have it. This is a big monster, bigger than the Diablo. Don't know if you can see it if I put it this way here on the camera, but this is looking really awesome. That's one big monster, especially compared to your hunters, right? Looks really good. Let's see if we can get this off again. We could. I don't really know how you're gonna store these. So if you want to paint them, because you would probably need to glue everything together. But there's probably someone that can find some clever way to do that. So Claus from Post Editing back yet again. This time the disclaimer is about technical problems that we had while recording unboxing. So while we were actually recording the Teostra Elder Dragon expansion box, our camera with the microphone actually shut off, and therefore we don't have any footage of us going through the front and the back and removing the shrink wrap. But we found out, and thereby we have recordings of us opening the box and going through the content. So we hope you enjoy, and let's continue the video. So let's get this open. There we go. So first off we have the tokens. We have the rule book. And this one doesn't seem to have the same problem as we just saw with the other one. And of course we have all the quests behind. We have the physiology cards here for different versions. Behavior cards, weapon, armor, time cards. And then we have the monster here, the Teostra, the Elder Dragon. As you can see, this is a much smaller monster. It could seem like it could use some green stuff here where it has been actually put together, but again, a really nice sculpt. But let's put this aside and see what we have left down in the box. So I can see we have two boxes left. One of them is from the All-in Pledge and the other one is that additional box that I talked about in the intro. So let's finish off with that one, but this is a big boy. So here we have, now you can't see me, I'm still here. So here we have the Kushala Daora, giant elder dragon monster. So if we put this down on the table, it says the same as all the other expansions. And if we flip it over, we can see that this one, just like the rest, contains armor cards, weapon cards, attack cards, damage cards, time cards, wind and tornado tokens, physiology cards, and behavior cards. It is still only 120mm base size like Nergigante, but this one seems to be a lot bigger overall. This is actually the biggest box of them all, not in the height, but in the pure width and length. So let's see what we have inside. Oh, there we go. Big boy. If we can get it open. But it doesn't have a lot of weight, which is quite interesting. There we go. So as you can see, this is actually just one big monster. So I would think that we have all the cards below. Let's just see if we can get this cut here without damaging anything. There we go. Let's see if we can get it up. So this is by far the biggest of all the monsters we have seen. And it doesn't even have its tail on yet. Let's see if we can get this one like this. Take a look at this one. This is like a giant centerpiece that you could just imagine this one painted, having that standing somewhere. That is awesome looking. And then down here we have all the cards. So we have the weapon, armor, time cards, and we have the behavior cards as well. So yeah, it is a giant box to just keep this giant miniature in. So this is probably one of the places where you could win a lot of storage space by just having this standing somewhere else and then not keeping this box. But it is looking fantastic. Really, really fantastic. But this giant miniature also concludes the whole All-in Pledge. So what we have left now is actually an additional add-on that was available during the campaign. So let's take a look at that one. Here we have it. It is a special box containing an Azure Rathalos and Black Diablos. And if you remember when we started the video and looked at the first core boxes, these were the special variants of the boss monsters that we also got cards for. But it doesn't say a whole lot on the front, and it doesn't say anything on the back. So let's just open up and take a look at the miniatures and see if they actually differentiate from the ones in the core sets. So I see that we have colored plastic this time, and we have one big insert with all the wings, and then we have the miniature. So it does look like it is the same sculpts, just in a different color. So you have the possibility to actually paint them up differently, but the sculpts are the same as in the core boxes. But here you have like the blue plastic and the black dark gray plastic, so that you can differentiate them. And then we have the wings as well, which are just the same as we had in the core box. So this does allow you to have these uniquely painted up so that you have a miniature for each unique monster in all of these boxes. This concludes our unboxing video of our All-in Pledge, as well as additional add-on of Monster Hunter World, the board game by Steamforged Games. We're really looking forward to do a deep dive of especially the core boxes, as said earlier, where we go over some of the cards and more into some of the mechanics. And we're also gonna make an updated how to play video with the physical copy. As always, if you have any comments, please write them in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to answer them. Also, if you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to the channel. It is highly appreciated. But that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.